you guys. Today I thought I would take a little break from crochet and I would jump on here and show you how to use the Sentro Knitting Machine. So I'm going to start at the very beginning. I'll show you a little bit about the machine and then I will show you how to cast on. And then in a separate video, I'll talk about how to actually, get into using scrap yarn to create your panels and tubes, things like that, okay? So for today, I will start by showing you a little bit of how this thing works and how to cast on, okay? So this is the machine. So over here, we have the little tension thingy. There's 3 different settings to pick from, or you can intertwine your yarn through multiple of these. Basically, this controls the tension for your yarn. This guy over here is the stitch counter. It only works on the circular tube setting. It will not work for a flat panel, unfortunately. This over here is the little knob that switches the setting from will your project go in rounds, so on the tube, or a flat panel. Okay, so I currently have mine set to the panel. I'll show you how to cast on the panel setting. And then this, of course, is the handle. Okay, so let's take a look at our little needles now. You'll notice that one of them is white, the rest are pink. Okay, so to cast on, I want to make sure that I have my white pin raised, okay, and then that when I start twisting, it will go in this direction here. Okay, so I want to make sure that I have my pin 48 and then number 1, and when I start turning, I'm turning towards number 1. Okay, so here's my yarn. This machine is actually quite cool in the sense that it will accept quite a few different yarn weights. So I'm just going to use this one, some good old acrylic, and I'm going to loop it around while I have my white pin raised. I'm going to loop it around the white pin, and I'm going to make sure that it gets tucked in under both of these little hook parts. Okay, and then I'm going to slowly start turning and intertwining my yarn in front, behind, in front, behind, in front, behind of the needles. Okay, so I just went in front of that first one. Now I'm going to go behind and then in front, behind, in front, behind, in front, behind, in front, behind, blah, blah, blah. You keep going like this all the way around. Okay, so mine's a little bit rickety. Maybe your machine will not make these noises. But yeah, and I'm controlling the tension by hand. Okay, so in front, behind, behind, making sure that you don't miss anything. And then making sure that it does actually go into every second little loop. Okay. And I think that this is the easiest method to cast on. Okay, so I am approaching the end here. I'm going to keep going until the very end, until I get to the next stitch, the next needle after the white one. So I ended up going behind the white one and then in front of this guy, and then I'm gonna go loop it under here and behind this one, and then through the little feeder, and then I'll tuck it in to my little tension thing. Okay, so now I'm going to just tug on the yarn a smidgy little bit and turn the other way. Okay, so start turning the other way very, very slowly. Okay, very, very, very slowly. Mine's a little bit rickety, but that's okay. So I have made it to the end here. My thing won't turn any further. Every time you make it to the end, I suggest that you kind of hold on and tug on the end of your yarn here, because the ends are kind of where most of your stitches kind of get lost. So tug on the ends every time and then start turning the other way. I do have to warn you, these 3 or so stitches in and around the white pin are gonna get lost. They are. That's just the nature of this machine. It does skip those, no matter how hard I've tried to make it not. But to make sure that you don't lose any extra ones, you really gotta tug on the end. Okay? And then you're just turning back and forth. All right, and then you just keep going like this. As you can see, my little panel is beginning to form here. So just keep going like this until your panel is complete. Okay, and that's it.